Good morning, lovely, lovely people. I just realised, I say just realised, it occurred to me that it's been a really, really long time since I've done a live. So I thought I'd use today to do a picking video because it's been ages since I've done one of those as well. Quite a few sales from this weekend as well. I'll say quite a few. There's going to be lots of pauses in this, by the way, because obviously it's not edited together. You get away with a lot of stuff if you edit in videos, believe you me. So 25 sales this weekend. And the total value of those sales was £552.60. Some interesting sales as well, actually. So I thought what I'd do is just pick them and show you what I've sold. I could, I suppose, tell you how much I paid for them in the first place. Let me see if that's going to be possible. Yes, it is. Because I don't know, I've probably told you before, I've actually done a video about my stocking system. And it's pretty straightforward, actually, because when you're setting up a listing, you'll notice there's a box for SKU, which is, it's only a field on your listing that you see. So in there, what I do is put the stock location, I put the date that I bought the item on, and I put how much I paid for it. So when I can refer to that, obviously when I make a sale, I can refer to it as far as the stock rotation is concerned, and also if I'm sending offers out, I can make sure that I'm actually losing money, which is always a bonus. Oh, a couple of messages already. Morning, Chris. How you doing? Just off to the post office. I hope it's been a successful weekend for you. Right, let's get some orders picked anyway. So first up, I've actually packed that already. It's one of the silver angle poise lamps. I bought two of just recently. So let me just show you a picture because I've already packed it. And the reason I packed it is because it sold on Friday and the person didn't want to be able to receive it until Wednesday. So it's one of those. Pretty wicked screen effect going on there. Nice. Yep, angle poise lamps. Who knew? So the next thing I'm actually picking, Squishmallows. Incidentally, if you can hear noise in the background, that's my dryer. The joys of working from home. First up, Squishmallows. I got these from Aldi. I think I paid £3 or £4 a piece for them. Not massive margin in them, but they've been phenomenal sellers. I think I got something like maybe 30 of them. This is, oh, what's she called now? What's she called? She's got a name. They're all named. They're properly soft as well. Sophie the Lamb. That's all. There's loads of different variations. I've got quite a few down here from the same place. Keyring variants as well, which have been very solid sellers. Like I say, not massive margin in them. Paid £3 for them, and it's going out for £9.99 plus postage. They're a nice bread and butter item, super easy to pack. And next, this is on the rack. I've got to show you this stuff. Now, if this was one of my normal videos, I could have edited that gap together, couldn't I? This is a backhouse coat. Backhouse is an arm of Barber. Get that in It's got that really strong wax jacket smell. I love it. So it's a pretty long coat as well. Men's brown, and it's got these. It's a cape on it. I think they call it a cape. Yeah, it's a caped riding shooting coat, that kind of thing. Absolutely lovely, lovely coat. Cost, I paid £15 for it, and it's sold for £60. I mean, obviously Barbour's a really good brand as well. This is a little bit tired looking. That's why, I mean, Barbour coats can command a really high price, but because it's a little bit tired, that's why I devalued it slightly. JJ, good morning, mate. We're up to 15 watches already. Lovely. Okay, next. Another one that's in another room. Already hygienically packed, this one. This is you guys might have seen the video. I picked up a load of clothing, a load of new stuff from it was an importer, a chap that his family used to import clothes for Marks and Spencer's, and these I packed it. So I'll show you a picture of it anyway because I've packed it. I paid, I think, £1 a piece for these skirts. So that's what they look like on. Nice summery maxi dress. They're really good quality actually, and I can see these going down quite well for the ladies during the warmer weather. And the sell price on that, after the £1 I paid for it, is £10.75. All these prices that I'm giving you for these items, by the way, are plus postage. Because as George Ross says, postage isn't free. It's really rare, but sometimes I do free postage, but that's more likely to be to stay relevant and competitive with other sellers. If I'm picking up brand new items on retail arbitrage, then sometimes I'll stick free postage on there. It is rare though, and never on used items. If you look through my listings at the minute, there's probably, I'll probably contradict myself there. There might be one or two, but it's extremely rare. Okay, next. Oh, these are items that I've been sitting on for a long time. The final two are going. I'll tell a lie, I've actually got 3 left after this. These are Mytex battery eliminators. I think they're just the walkie-talkie adapters that you put in a vehicle and you clip your walkie-talkie to it. And it charges them as well. I'm not even sure which. Anyway, I've got these on clearance from Maplin's. Well, obviously Maplin's have gone bust now. I walked in, but I was kind of hoping that, sorry, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have picked these up because I've been sat on them for getting on 2 years now. But I mean, on the plus side, they're not taking up much room. These two are going to Ireland. I took an offer on them. I think I only paid £1 a piece for these on clearance, on the closed down clearance anyway. And they're going over to Ireland for £5 a piece. So again, not massive profit, but let's clear the shop. Clear the shelves. Okay, next. Well, the message, John Carr. You travel a couple of Ascon car boots. Would you ever consider going any further? I would, In fact, when I was speaking to my mate Peter about this, I would, but the instance where that would be to incorporate it for a weekend away. I think that's a really great idea. In fact, it's maybe something like a trend we could start between resellers, because how perfect would that be? You go and have an absolutely fabulous weekend away up in Scotland, Wales, wherever it is in the country, and hit a car boot and actually come away having paid for the bloody weekend. So how bad can that be? So yeah, I'd definitely consider going further afield, but that would be the circumstances. Next up, a distressed Levi shirt, 4C1. Now this is one of the Levi shirts that I picked up in the bundle from Strawberry Field. This is actually the one that's in the worst condition. I don't think so much that it's sold because of the cost of it, because it's still sold for $19.99 plus a postage. It has got a couple of pinprick holes in it, and I don't know if that's picking up on the camera. It's clearly really worn. But I remember saying at the time when I did that video that this type of shirt, this is a genuine American import Levi shirt. With the Levi shirts, if they look worn and tatty, that actually supports the value, because that's the style that people are looking for. But this does look really cool. It's pressed the buttons, and they've got like a little marble effect on the buttons as well. A size large. So like I say, $19.99 that's going out for. Is that Steve? Any OA Prime deals that you're going for? I'm tempted to buy a couple of Lego sets to save for Christmas. I haven't actually looked, Steve. I've got a mountain of stock to climb at the minute, which is obviously a nice problem to have. I normally do that kind of thing for the run-up for Q4, but you have to be very careful, particularly if you've got an Amazon account for selling purposes. You have to be really careful of ordering to sell, because that can really get you in trouble for your seller account. I think that's more if you're fulfilling your orders, because I mean, this is proper cheeky. If you're buying off Amazon to sell to your eBay customers using your Prime discount and sending direct, I think that's really cheeky. Some people do it, but it can get you in a lot of trouble. I think for the run up to Christmas, I'll be looking at that, but not so much at the minute, because as you probably know yourself, it's the land of milk and honey as far as picking stuff up from car boots is concerned. And historically, that's where the money is. So OA is great, and retail arbitrage is great, but there's just not the margin there that there is from selling tap from car boots. Okay, Hunter Wellies. I think I've got a pair with holes in the sole, which I've mentioned in the listing, but I think these are the other, yeah, these are the larger pair, green. Location is 7D. No, that's not it. Wrong shelf. We're up here. I think what I'll do once this video's uploaded is put one of the, what do they call them, the links about on the top of the screen. It'll be that side on how I operate my stocking system. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's really simple. If you've got the shelves and a few sort of like these plastic boxes, which I picked up really cheap from Asda, I think it was, then it's dead simple to organize your stock, and it saves so much time, and it means you can get a lot more stock in as well. It reduces breakages because you're not pulling things about all the time. You go to a specific point, and you can be more calculating where you put stuff. It's simply brilliant. It's cheesy as hell, that, isn't it? It's simple, but it's brilliant. It works so well for me. Anyway, Hunter Wells, these are in quite good condition, actually. Loads of tread left on the soles. It's not demanded as much money as I thought they would, actually, to be honest, but I'm certainly not complaining. I paid £5 for these. Again, these are the ones I picked up from Strawberry Fields, the ones with the rusty buckles. And these are going out for £37 plus postage. Brew break. It's one thing I would not be able to survive without is my Nespresso machine. It's the best thing I've bought in the last 20 years. Steve says, I think you've just talked me out of it. I think I'll just save money and plan the car boots for the weekend. I feel really guilty now, Steve. If there's some really tasty deals to be had, mate, don't let me talk you out of it, because even if you're sitting on that stuff for Q4, then there's money to be made. I think it's all about your cash flow at the end of the day. With my cash flow, I have to maximize my return and then absolutely spank it during Q4. So that's the script there. But yeah, it's all down to your own personal cash flow. Shannon says, hi, thanks for your video. I can actually highlight these messages as well. So there we go. That's what we do. Thanks for your video, Facebook group, and others help me. That Facebook group is absolutely brilliant. I mean, obviously it was me who set it up, kind of thing, but I'm finding it a fantastic source of help. I mean, how nice are the people that are on there? In fact, so much so, one of the members on there, John Walsh, has very kindly agreed to help me moderate it, because just to keep it sweet, because I think there's about 200 members on there at the minute, but the bigger the stuff like that gets, I mean, you've seen it yourself on Facebook groups. You can get sort of like negative Nellies in there and all that kind of stuff, and it's just not what it's about. Let's keep it positive, keep it resellers, helping resellers. My word, we have a star in the building. Cookie in the Aidens. Hey up, Chris. I'm assuming it's Chris and not Bell. Welcome, welcome. JJ. Oh, let's get rid of Shannon. Not literally. Sorry, Shannon. Have you got to take it off now? Okay. I don't even know how to remove these comments. You can tell I haven't done this very often. Oh, there you are. Superstar in the house. Chris and Cookie and Hayden's. Victors. Morning, Victors. What's this then? Unusual life. Yeah, it's definitely an unusual life by an unusual bloke. Anyway, this is not what we're here for. We're here to pick orders. So that was the Hunter Wellies. That was Santander telling me I spent loads of money at the car boot the weekend. Enid Blyton. I won't pick that because they're a bit of a pain to get to. But I'll show you the picture. This is from the Bursco Giant car boot. I bought a crate of Enid Blyton books that are going out at a steady rate of knots. I think there was maybe 70 or 80 books. This is Mr. Galliano's Circus. They're all the vintage ones, not the more modern. In fact, there's a couple of the modern Enid Blytons in there as well. But they're going out quite nicely. I put a value of £1 a piece on those, but like I say, there was, we'll call it 70 books. I put a cost price of £1 a piece on those, even though I didn't pay that. What I tend to do for my SKU, in fact, I'll try and zoom in on that and show you an SKU that I use for my stocking system without showing you the address of the buyer. So I'll show you actually an SKU for something else I've sold, not that one, because, right, okay. Save that to photos. It's all in the preparation, this. It's very hard to prepare alive, though. Sam sells stuff. Morning, Dave. Hope you're well. Morning, Sam. Right, okay. So when I set up my eBay listings in custom label or SKU, I've put 3C, which is the location. That's rack 3 and shelf C. If there's a number after that, it'll be the box it's in. This is hard. I can't bloody drive this. It's all backwards. The dates, 10th of the 6th, 21, and how much I paid for it. In that particular instance, it was nothing, which is nice. What was that actually? Oh, that was one of the tape cases. I've sold another one of the tape cases at the weekend from that massive load of that massive tape bundle I paid a tenner for. So that's the second. If I don't, I'm assuming you guys have seen the. I know you probably haven't seen that video from Fitzwilliam. It's going back maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. But I bought a shed load of audio cassette tapes, all sort of like country and western music and 70s tapes and that kind of thing. And a lot of them were in 2 wooden tape cases, vintage tape cases. So I bundle up the tapes. In fact, there's some of those tapes all this weekend as well. Bundle up those tapes and sold the cases separately. I've already sold one for £15, so that's basically paid for the whole lot because I only paid a tenner for all the tapes and the 2 cases. So this is all gravy now. Okay, where was I up to? I'll tell you about Enid Blyton books. We've done that one. Enid Blyton book, like I said, I put a value of £1 on it, and it's going out for £4.49 plus postage. Dead easy to pack as well. It's a book. It's only large letter. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 of them that are over large letter because they're sort of like multiple title books. Next up was actually that. In fact, the one I just showed you the location of. I made a mistake. What is it? It's not a massive one, but this it wasn't actually free. I paid £1 for it at a charity shop. Again, this is it's just a cheap and cheerful plastic audio cassette tape box library. I think you'll get 33 cassette tapes in there. The drawers are plastic. The casing is just hardwood. It's nothing spectacular. It feels pretty cheaply made actually. I mean, obviously I pictured it and described it accurately, and that is going out for $14.99 plus postage. And let's say stop saying postage. If I won't say plus postage again for the rest of this video. Just assume that it's plus postage. Okie dokie. A couple of messages. Door. Yeah, just talk amongst yourselves. How's the pot cleaning thing going, Sam? Morning, Judy. Oh, a couple more messages. I'm getting a bit back behind here. John. Let's put it on the screen. This is off John. So I'm starting off doing this, apart from going crazy and buying everything with a lack of experience. What advice would you give to somebody? If you can go back, what advice would you give to yourself? That is an exceptionally good question, John. The one piece of advice I would give to new resellers that's really important is be patient. I've always been kind of a patient guy like that, but I get carried away with things as well sometimes. But be patient. Don't expect to nail it straight away. I was very fortunate in the fact that I didn't really have anybody. I wasn't following anybody on YouTube, although that came quite quickly after starting reselling. So I didn't really have a compass aside from my daughters. My daughter got me into this in the first place, into reselling, and she was sort of like just playing at it, making a few quid here and there, kind of thing, and doing all right. So I was obviously aware it was something. But the thing that helped me greatly, and this was nothing to do with planning, was when I started reselling part-time at the back end of November. It was 2017, and in between then and Christmas, I just cleared up. I think it was somewhere in the region of 5, maybe 6 grand I did part-time, just winging it really, because I was very new to it, didn't really know what I was doing and absolutely cleaned up by Christmas week. And I'm thinking, well, the bloody hell I'm working all these stupid hours for when I can be doing this full time. But even then, as tempting as it was to just throw everything up in the air and storm at it, bull in the china shop, I knew that obviously I've got bills to pay, I've got a mortgage to pay. My kids are grown up and left home, but obviously I like to be able to support them and all that kind of stuff. You have responsibilities. So that's where the patience came in, making sure all your ducks in a row. So when you finally get to the stage where you think, worst case scenario, I can support myself for 3, 6, 12 months, whatever it might be, that's the point when you can seriously start looking at it going full time. So patience is the advice I would give you, definitely. Morning, Judy. Morning, Thomas. Thank you very much for your compliments. Dodgy Keeper, I love your videos, mate. You'll be back into picking stuff at the car boots. That tickled me like that, because on the bike scene, my nickname was Dodgy. Obviously, I don't really tell everybody about that, because from a professional point of view, it's not really professional. And it's really like a lame excuse. The reason I got the nickname Dodgy as well, it was because of dodgy jokes, proper dad jokes. It was nothing to do with actually being dodgy. Don't believe the biker stereotype, folks. Like 99.9% of them are really, really nice. Anyway, this isn't picking orders, is it? You guys keep distracting me. I don't mind though. Okay, next. Something else that's on the rack in the other room. I've got to show you these though, because these are cool as well. From the same place I got the linen skirt from, I got these. There's a few different styles of these actually. Get it in the light a bit. The denim jackets, like smart casual jacket. This is more sort of like biker hobo style, if you will, but it is a smart casual jacket. The brand is Heine, H-E-I-N-E. They're all brand new as well. Really, really good quality feel to these jackets, but they're all made in Germany. In fact, I'm hoping to go back and get some more of these, because they've been very good sellers for me. Made in Germany. These, the Heine ones, and the other brand I picked up was Stones. When I picked them up, it was a bit of a gamble, because I don't think there was any precedent on eBay for them at all. But it's the quality that sold them to me when I picked them up. The price as well, because it worked out I paid less than $5 each for them. And they're good. It's going out the door. How much did it sell for? I think it was 25 quid. Yeah, 25 quid plus postage. I did it again, didn't I? 25 quid it's going out the door for. And strangely, it's going to Germany. So Gunther from Germany, he's going to be receiving this really nice denim jacket. That's going by GSP. We're having a conversation on the group yesterday about GSP. For international sales, I'll only use GSP, because it takes so much of the headache out of it. It doesn't happen very often that people get in contact with me from from countries not covered by GSP, but it does happen. I won't do it. I'll just politely decline the sale, because it's just not worth any potential headache. It's not worth my time organising, the extra step involved in organising direct postage and the cost and the customs paperwork and all that, particularly after Brexit and all that kind of stuff. So I just don't bother. It's either GSP or I don't sell internationally. Simple as that. GSP is a phenomenal service. I know a lot of people are nervous about it because of returns and things like that. And it does happen. I mean, for me, I think in all the time I've been selling on eBay, maybe 2 or 3 international returns, and in those instances, I've just written off the sale because obviously it's not worth the while having it brought back to me. The latest one was a massive cock up on my part, and to this day, I don't know what was going on there. As a customer in Cyprus bought it was a DVD recorder and actually sent a DVD player. It was just another item that was in the same location. I must have been flustered or whatever. Packed the wrong thing, sent it. Huge cock up. So they sent me a message, but like an idiot, I countered the message when they sent me back because I was so trusting of the system I got set up. I just thought, this guy's obviously trying to take the piss. He's trying to pull the wool. So I kind of responded in kind. It was professional, but I responded in kind. Anyway, I second guessed myself, went and checked the location, and he was actually bang on right. And you can imagine I was very embarrassed. So I sent him a message with the most groveling apology you can imagine. I said, keep the item for free, honestly, and just have it with my compliments. I mean, it wasn't what he was expecting, but he got something for nothing. Completely refunded him, so he would have got it refunded him the full amount as well by way of an apology, and just relisted the item that I should have sent, which is a more expensive item, granted, and that is actually sold this weekend. It's just a coincidence that I'm bringing it up in conversation now. So, yeah, GSP all the way. It irons out so many problems. If apologies for the people who already know how it works, but if you send something through eBay's GSP, the Global Shipping Program, all you do is pay the UK postage to their fulfillment centre in Lichfield. And once it gets there, assuming it gets there safe and in time, then eBay take complete responsibility for it. If it gets damaged in between them and the buyer, then eBay refund the buyer and you keep the original sale price. They take responsibility for it. For international sales as well, even if you're a business seller, you can have returns turned off. So I do in that case for reasons I've just explained. In the extremely rare event where either I make a cock up or I've missed something, whatever, and it's actually a genuine case for a return that I would have to pay for if it was in the UK, then I just write off the sale. Just write off the sale. Morning, Jason. My word, we've got 40 people watching now. This is amazing. Been on for half an hour already. I've not even picked these orders. Okay, next up. This is a cool sale, actually, and something that I think I've had in stock. We'll stock it in. 17th of June. I knew these wouldn't hang around. Kind of makes me think that I didn't price them high enough. Location. 3C1. Again, what I tend to do with clothes, if I'm not sticking them on a rack, I'll stick them in a poly bag. It just keeps them fresh, stops them getting damaged in storage. And I think when people get them as well, they appreciate the fact that they just, it's that sort of like a subliminal messaging. They just feel like they've been looked after, feel like they're clean, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, because I've packaged them up, I'll show you the picture. That's the 3 Walking Dead t-shirts I've got. Like I say, they've not been in stock long at all. Listed them on the 17th. So if that's, I'll show you, probably see there. First one is the Lucille. The Walking Dead, that was the bigger of the 3. And like a zombie skull on. All official t-shirts from the Walking Dead TV series. The Walking Dead main sort of like text one was a 3XL. The other 2 were 2XL. So I wasn't too bothered about bundling all those together. I could have sold them individually, but I think they wouldn't have commanded a decent enough price, really. So the price, how much did I pay for those? I paid £1 a piece for those, and they're going up for $14.99. My words, on loads of coats. I don't have to go again. I'll be back like 2 seconds. I have to go and get something else. This is one of the North Face jackets. I think I picked it up last weekend. I think I might have already sold one of these. But this is the one, if you remember from the video, if you saw it, that it's got a bit of a broken clasp, one of the sprongy things. See, I know all the technical words for like clips and that. Sprongy, it's a sprongy thing, that. So this baby pink North Face jacket, I paid a tenner a piece for them actually, but it was me that broke that, so I can't really blame the seller. The jackets, although some of them looked a bit tired, were actually in really, really, really good nick. I took an offer on this one, and I'm probably kicking myself a little bit about it because the sell price is $17.79. I think the reason it's devalued is because of that bit of damage, but very little profit in that, very little. But you pays your money, you takes your chance. I'm sure, in fact, I'm certain I'll make it back on the rest of that bundle, and hopefully I'll be able to see her again. That was Laura from Norcross. I don't mind telling you guys, so if any of you guys go to Norcross regularly, have a word with Nora. She got some really nice jackets. Next, some women's trainers. Right, this is it's not a bugbear, it's just a kind of question mark over the head kind of thing as far as sellers are concerned. And it's not a grumble because I'm not about grumbling. But I've got a message with this sale. It's for a pair of Adidas trainers, women's trainers. And the message is, if there's an option to pay more for express postage, I'll be happy to pay it. Well, there isn't an option for the express postage, because on all of my listings, I have 3 options. For anything under 2 kilos, I have Royal Mail second class, Royal Mail first class, and next day delivery, and they're all priced accordingly. So I can't really. It's not a criticism, because you don't know, you can't prejudge. This person might be not very au fait with eBay and that, but it kind of just makes me think, you're just trying to get it a bit quicker. Now, I suppose there's nothing wrong with that, but there is other postage options on there, and it is pretty obvious. Which, anyway, I was going to pick them, weren't I? 1D1. What do they look like? Great Adidas trainers. Might be there. Another thing that polybagging up all your items does help with as well is the charity shop smell. I know you guys all know what I'm talking about. If you've got a stock room like I have, or if you've got a room in your house or your garage, whatever, where you keep all your stock, then after a while you get that charity shop smell. It's kind of like, it's not unpleasant, it's just kind of like a faint sweat. It's hard to put your finger on it. It's just like the smell of schools. You can't describe what the smell is, but if you say the smell of schools, everybody knows what you mean. The smell of charity shops is an akin. So polybagging your items, it really helps combat that as well, but there is no escaping it. I suppose air fresheners. I'm a bloke. Or opening windows, that's always helpful. Anyway, back in the game, these Adidas trainers, very cool. Again, I'll show you the picture because it's a good picture. I like taking nice pictures. The stripes on these are like chrome as well, so they're pretty cool, pretty eye-catching. How much did I pay for them? Pay £3 for them, and they're going out for £19.99. Next. Pokemon cards. Something I know absolutely diddly about. I'll pick these up on Retail Arbitrage. I'll pick this and I'll get to some questions or comments. Okay, where are we at? 3B1. Okay, so these were picked up from Tesco on Retail Arbitrage. Now, like I say, I know nothing about cards. Charizard is one that rings alarm bells that some of the old ones are worth decent money, but this was just sort of like a brand new retail pack. I paid £8 for this, and again, not massive profit because it's going on GSP. It looks like it's going to Norway for £19.95. And did I include the postage on that because it's new? No, £2.99 postage on that. So all the postage that I'm putting on these items is actually the real cost. Thereabouts. Sometimes if it's an over 2 kilos item, I'll add more than the cost of the postage as the postage cost. The reason for that is obviously the materials I'm using to package stuff up cost money as well. If it's a large item like a heavy DVD player, for example, that's bigger than small parcel size, then the boxes that I'm using can be £1.20 or something like that. So I need to incorporate that cost as well. So yeah, like I say, cost price £8, sell price £19.95 on the Charizard cards. I think I've got one more pack of this, and there's another pack with a different character on the front as well. Now, if anybody comments now saying, actually, that Charizard's worth something like $500 gajillion, then I'm going to be really upset. Right, let's have some comments before we get back to picking. Returns happen regardless of GSP. They do, but if you, what I tend to find is it's like with all your listings, if you've been honest with your description and your post photos, it just minimizes that. I mean, I think GSP probably accounts for maybe 2% of my monthly sales, something like that. And like I say, in all the time I've been reselling, I've had 2 or 3 international return requests. Do you ship internationally to PO box? I don't know what it costs a fortune to return via a post box. Adore. On the same score, because I only send GSP, then to a certain degree, I want to wash my hands of the sale, because obviously I like to follow everything through to completion, because my view is these are potential people who can help my business by leaving me a feedback and helping my reputation. So I always like to see things through to the end. But I'll only use GSP. So as far as that's concerned, as soon as eBay takes responsibility for it at Litchfield, then to a certain degree I can wash my hands of it, really, because apart from in the extremely rare circumstances where a customer opens a return request, then it's a done deal. So I don't really mind whether eBay send to a PO box or if they send it to Uncle Tom Cobley's aunt. It's almost an irrelevance at that point. Okay. Questions. Oh, you really wanted to get that point across. I probably shouldn't have hide that. It's got rude words in it. Ish. Rude intent. Ricky, I do actually check all my stock if it's fake or not. But thanks for joining in, though. Okay, and that's it. I think we're up to date on the comments. Thanks for joining in. If you're joining in, by the way, 47 people. That's a new record for me. Okay, next up, Salvation Army shop. Pick up these. I've got a bit of cycling gear, 1D2. Very eye-catching. Should be very easy to find this, albeit a bit buried. Again, packaged up, so I'll show you the picture. Cycling tops. I think I got 2 or 3 cycling jerseys and a couple of the unitards. Really good, really strange looking things. I think I might have sold one this weekend, so I'll show you in a minute. And the light's gone. There we go. So that's the picture of it. Nice bright cycling jersey. These are all £1.50 each, but up to £2 as a cost value because my OCD doesn't allow decimal points in my stocking system. Not massive profit, but again plus postage, and it's going out for £9. Next. Stop talking about Katie Price's boobs, guys. It's just like so off topic, man. Okay, right, this is slightly humorous anecdote. Well, it's humorous for me anyway, because it just was at the time. From the Norcross car boot, I think it was getting on a month ago now. If you've seen the video, you can see me sort of like in the edit trying to talk myself out of buying a Lego, which I knew I'd already bought. I've just stopped doing it because it drives me nuts buying loose Lego. I know there's value in it, and if you've got the patience to go through it, but people are very particular that if you're selling them Lego, it has to actually be Lego. How old-fashioned. But of this, I think it was around about 4 kilos. I went through all of it, and if you've done this, you'll know what I'm talking about. It drives you nuts going cross-eyed trying to sort out the Lego from the other brands. So after all that, I actually sold, it was Mega Bloks and Lego, and probably about 3/4 of it was Mega Bloks, which I just stuck all in a box and sold it for 20 quid on Marketplace. But the Lego, and strangely, when I weighed it, it was literally maybe sort of like an ounce or two over, maybe a gram or two over exactly a kilo. So where is it? It's in 4B2. So this kilo of Lego, I feel like Pablo Escobar, but with Lego. How much did I sell it for? I sold it for £15. There's actually 9 minifigures in there as well, which probably made it a bit more tasty. It didn't hang around long. I probably could have got a couple more quid off that, but like I said, I'm just glad to see rid. I think I paid, I'd have to revert back to the video for how much I paid for all of it, the Mega Bloks and the Lego. I think it was £10, might have been 15, and I've sold that for 15, and the Mega Bloks for £20. So there's still profit in it. Obviously, I didn't have to pay any fees for Marketplace as well, so that's probably added. From an effort return point of view, no way was that worthwhile. Storage room looks full, nice setup. Yeah, there's still scope for a bit more, but changes are afoot. If you've wondered, by the way, and you probably haven't because I'm not that bloody important, why I haven't been doing any picking and packing videos, particularly the packing side of it, is because for the last 6 months I've had my brother living with me because he needed somewhere to stay. And the room that's from my earlier videos where I've done all the picking and packing, that's actually his room at the minute. So my packing bench, and this is driving me nuts. Honestly, I can't tell you how much this is driving me nuts. The packing bench, which is also the bench I do the photography on, is in my bedroom at the minute. And nobody wants to see my bedroom, honestly. I mean, it's nice, but just nice for me, like, you know. So that's the reason why. Okay. Double Karma, hoping my car boot will start on next month. Whereabouts are you, Double Karma? You still suffering lockdown blues and all that kind of stuff? Where do you buy your bags from? Jason, I buy them all off eBay, really. I probably pay more than I should because, again, I'm kind of thinking, I'm looking at it slightly as a customer from a customer experience angle as well. The bags that I buy are quite fancy. I won't show you. There's like different colourful ones and all that kind of stuff. I know you can get bog standard ones that are quite thin, the grey ones and that. But the ones I use, they're very, very slightly thicker and very colourful. So where I'm going with that is it's just, again, the customer experience thing. It probably helps towards the protection of the items I'm sending because they're a bit thicker, albeit just very slightly. And if somebody gets a visually attractive looking thing in the post, and it's got the thank you cards that I use in there as well, it's all about the customer experience, and it's all about helping reputations form. It's just little tiny things that in isolation probably don't make a massive difference, but over time, it's the proportionality thing. If you're doing best practices, then as a proportion of what you do is concerned, you're going to get a greater reward from it. That sounded waffle, but in my mind, I knew I knew that what I was saying. Post office excluded now, and I think Georgia switched office had similar costs. You know, yeah, same. I mean, I think if you're selling very expensive items, then sending them anywhere but within the UK is brave, in my opinion, anyway, because of that risk. Because even if it does go, even though it's rare that things go pear-shaped, if it does, obviously that's a bitter pill to swallow. Superstar, car boot Chris. I was doing call Dallas Warehouse, and I have alien items, but yeah, that's what it's all about, Chris. I think, and I mean, I've learned a lot from your channel. And if you incidentally, car boot Chris from Cookie and Hayden's, if you're not already subscribed to his channel, get on there. What a diamond of a guy! Very, very, very informative as well. And I think what I'm taking away from Chris's channel is, well, like with a lot of other resellers, you're looking at things that you won't necessarily look at. I think Chris has got a very good eye for the unusual. So yeah, definitely line the milk and honey at the minute as far as car boots are concerned. Look, oh mate, that's just pedantic. Funny, but pedantic. My charity shops smell fabuloso nowadays. That's the thing, fabuloso. What's that? That's from Pound Shop, is it? Something like that. It's awesome stuff. I have a lot on my. We're going off topic here completely. On my kitchen windowsill, I have like a little spray bottle that's a little bit of fabuloso in the bottom, and then I top it up with water. And every now and again, I'll just spray it on my carpets. Just walk around. It smells gorgeous. Morning, reseller kid, and some more YouTuber royalty. Aldi, that's the one. Yeah, I think they do it in some pound shops as well, but Aldi do sell fabuloso. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's get back to it. So that was just my neighbour putting the recycling out. More Harris Tweed. There's, in fact, in my last video that just went live yesterday, featured some Harris Tweed that I picked up from Fitzwilliam, and this is the jacket that I picked up on the trip over there before. Where is it? On the racks. It's on the rack again. I'll be back in a sec. And this is the jacket concerned. Like I said myself, I don't get the appeal from from Harris Tweed. I know it's very good quality, clearly, but it just feels like an old Hessian potato sack to me. But it's not important whether I like it or not. It's sellable, and there's a demand for it. So I think I might have taken an offer on this as well, actually, because it's an unusual amount for me. So cost price on this, in fact, I'm thinking the cost price I put on this is £4, so maybe I picked it up from a charity shop rather than Annie at Fitzwilliam. Anyway, cost price I put on it £4, so that's what the cost price was, and it's sold for almost certainly an offer because it's a round figure, £25 exactly. I'm expecting a higher return on the ones that I featured in the video yesterday. Well, not obviously not the one that I'm selling for parts, but the unusual green one, because of that reason it's more unusual. Okay. Now this is a tip that I picked up off another reseller. Where is it? It's in 5B2. There's a PlayStation 2 DualShock 3 controller. You've seen them before, it's just a PlayStation controller, but this one is actually, it doesn't power on, it's knackered. So I've sold it for spares and repairs. I would have just chucked this in the bin probably and just written it off. But another, in fact I'll name him, it's Chris Parkinson. Thanks very much for the tip, Chris. Sold it spares and repairs because there's still a market for it. So even though this doesn't power on, and I'm just going to assume it doesn't work because of that, it's sold for $8.99. That is a free postage one, that, because I was kind of thinking, let's just get it out the door, because, I mean, I wouldn't have sold this for anything if it wasn't for that tip. So yeah, $8.99 free postage, gets it out the door, and it's spares and repairs. So there's still money to be made in spares and repairs controllers. Now, just before anybody else comments on this, I do hope that the buyer has read the description properly as well. So I couldn't have made it more obvious in the listing. Spares and repairs in the title, spares and repairs about 2 or 3 times in the item description and also in the condition description. So if they missed it, then these are one of the things we have to suffer as business sellers. A couple of comments. Ivy League divine is high, anything with football buttons. Yeah, I think that's more. I'm not entirely sure where you are in the world, Adore. I think that's more of an American thing. I've not been able to find much precedent in the UK. I do watch Gary Vaynerchuk. I watch him a lot, and he had a spate where he was doing yard sales and things like that, and making absolute killing with the likes of football pins and cards and things like that. And I did actually look into it, football pins off the back of that, but there's not really much precedent in the UK. So, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. Morning, tea cakes. You old charmer, yeah. Oh, top tip. PS4 is an internal battery that goes, easy fix. Nice one. Noted. Thank you for that. There you go. Another tip. Don't mind promoting that. Be surprised what can be fixed. What some of my mates' videos. There's a good chance. I mean, I don't doubt that for a second. I think one thing that's super important for me and I'm super aware of is time. So for me to spend time on something like that, it would need to be worth it, because time is my biggest, I was going to say enemy, it's not an enemy, but it's my most important commodity. Right, back to it, some boots. Not sure if these are the ones that stunk of cigs. Location 4A1. Well, if they did stink of cigs, yeah, I think they do. The bag's done its job. There's no way, in fact, I might have double bagged these. There's no way I was putting those in the box without some kind of protection. They're hummed, absolutely stunk of fags. So these, I'll show you the picture as well because they're bagged up. Caterpillar boots. I did sort of like second guess myself when I was picking them up, because although Caterpillar boots were a really safe bet, these were a size 5, which were a lot smaller than I'd hoped, but they still sold. There was a lady that bought them as well. I think obviously 5 is more of a sort of like lady size, and because of the size of them, and because does it say? Oh yeah, I've put in that these boots formerly belonged to a smoker, which I could have made it more clear than that, to be fair. So yeah, those are the boots that stunk. For those 2 reasons, the price that I put on it was, and the price they sold for, was $14.99. Morning, Rosie. That's a purchase. Lacoste shirt. Took an offer on this one. I think it might have been yesterday. Location 2C1. So Lacoste shirt, it's a light denim one. Again, I'll show you the picture because it's in a bag. It's like a light denim Lacoste shirt. Cost price to me was £2. Charity shop pick up this one, and the sale price is £15. Something that's slowed down in the sales, I've got an absolute pile of graphic novels, and I think I paid, there must have been 100 easily, and I paid a tenner for the whole pile. And one of them, I've sold quite a few. I've sort of bundled some, sold some individually, but one of them I sold was the New Mutants 58, I think it was, and it was the first appearance of Deadpool, and that one comic sold for just shy of £100. So when you're looking, if you ever look, I don't pretend to know a lot about graphic novels and stuff like that. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, and I probably would shy away from them because of the time it takes to research them. But if it's something you know, then you know. But one thing I do know to look out for, if you come across any comics or graphic novels that say first appearance of, then just pick it up. Just pick it up, because it's almost a certainty that you're not going to lose out on it. I mean, of course, as long as you're not paying big bucks for it. I'm not saying don't check comps. You check comps on everything, but definitely prick your ears up if it says first appearance of. This one is just a bog standard sale, and this is the New Mutants again, number 56. How many have I got? I don't think I've got too many of these left. Down here somewhere. I have bagged these up. Oh, I can't see them. I have bagged these up into bunches so they're easier to find, but still got to go through them. So here's an example of one of my postage bags, by the way, Jason. Let's say the number was number 56. A lot of the ones that I picked up were in the polythene bags as well. 56. There we are. Use that guy. Some of the art on this, I can see where they call them graphic novels, because some of the graphics on that. So that's New Mutants number 56. Did I tell you how much I sold it for? It sold for $3.99 plus $2.99 postage as well. I do feel slightly guilty about this, because obviously it's only going to cost me less than £1 to send that, and I've charged $2.99 postage. But I think it might have been just before Christmas, and I haven't changed it since. I did a bulk edit on all my listings. I'm not entirely sure why. I can't remember why, but I put everything below a certain weight at the standard second class parcel size and cost. So that changed everything, even the small items. So I do feel kind of guilty. I mean, obviously the customer's happy to pay that because they paid it, and I might have missed something about this comic that they picked up on. So there might even be a chance that I've seriously undervalued that comic. And believe me, I make more cock-ups that cost me money than make me money. A lot more. Shannon. We ain't got a cheat because they had parent lock on it. Big 2 million YouTube problem solved. Now there's a bundle, 60 quid, about 45 profit in it. That's what it's all about, Shannon. Research. If you put the effort into looking into things, then you'll find riches in the niches. Aha, case in point, this is the massive cock-up, international sale cock-up that I was telling you about, 5B. This is what is it? It's a Sony DVD recorder. The model is a RDR HXD 710, which is wasn't what I sent to the guy in Cyprus. So I'm going to own that cock-up. I'll be back in a sec. Now this is a bit of a big galumping thing. It's heavy, it's large, and this one isn't HDMI, I don't think. No, this isn't a HDMI model. The reason it's very sellable though is it's a DVD recorder, but also it's a hard drive, Freeview recorder as well. So it's a Freeview receiver, and it's got a 160 gig hard drive on it as well. So the Freeview recorders, that's certainly something to watch out for at boot sales and whatnot, because these fetch really quite good money. Cost price on this for me was £5, and it's sold again, embarrassingly, for £55. Let's get this out of the way. Right, been on over an hour already. I have to wind this up soon. Got to pack all this yet. Nice cheeky little bread and butter sale now. This is a Wii game. I did find a game over the last, historically I've not bothered a great deal with games on their own because of the return thing. I know they're an easy post and all that kind of stuff, but there's very little margin in the vast majority of them. But I did find one the other day that was really quite decent value, and that was for the Wii. No, sorry, that's a lie. Xbox 360 Rumble Roses XX. It looked almost pornographic though, honestly. This WWE wrestler thing, and the lasses had the backs out and everything. It was just shocking. You can see why it's held its value. And anyway, that sold for about 25 quid. But this is Wii Fit Plus, and it's in 5C2. Wii Fit Plus, nothing exceptional about it. And this is going out for, this is a free postage one actually, £4.99. And the cost price to me was £1. It was probably less than £1 actually, but stick £1 on it for my purposes. Okay, got some more comments coming in. Big Bad Brian, GSP for small scale, 4-time doublers. Is it worth it and easy to do? 100%. Yeah, it's as easy as sending to somewhere in the UK. In fact, there's an argument to say it's easier because there's less chance you're going to get the bloody thing back. I mean, obviously, returns are on a sliding scale depending on your practices anyway. But I would go so far as to say GSP to some extent is easier than selling in the UK. I definitely recommend everybody do it though. Baseball gloves locked up nice. You picked on Saturday. Is it Saturday? You got me scratching my head there, Martin. They were actually really, really nice. But the reason I'm scratching my head is I can't remember whether I must have seen you in the field because I've not even edited a video yet. Yeah, they're really nice. Nicer than the ones I picked up historically. I think I might have undervalued them as well when I've already shot the video that I haven't edited together yet from Saturday. But I might. I think I even say in the video, I think I've undervalued the price I put them on. I'll keep that on the back burner anyway, so you can look forward to that video. They were very nice though. Okay, Freeview's a strange choice of branding. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you do require a TV license, but. Another good question from Adore. How often do you ship daily or 5 to 7 day dispatch? I do my shipping. I set my dispatch time to 2 working days, and I do my postage on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And I used to have it set to one working day dispatch, and it was. I mean, obviously, I did it because I didn't know any better. And at the time, I think I was probably thinking that 2-day dispatch would have affected my sales, but it hasn't at all, not even a little bit. And the difference in workload is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So 2 working days dispatch for me is working so much better. I don't think I'd go anything beyond that because I'd be nervous about it affecting sales, because people like getting stuff. It's the reason all my listings are buying now rather than auctions, is because once people decide they want to buy something, they want to buy it and they want to get it quickly. And that's just the way of things. You know, this is like one of the reasons Amazon is so phenomenally successful, is because you can get your stuff quick. So that's the mentality that I see from buyers. So, but like I say, I mean, 2-day dispatch is not affecting my sales at all, but it has affected my ability to operate better in a positive way. Okay, next up, I keep getting distracted by the comments, don't I? Not so many to go, only 2 items to go now. Next are some jeans. And the location is 1C1. Oh, might be actually. Yes, it is. Just questioning myself there because I had 2 pairs of very similar jeans. These are just nothing special about them, actually. Just a really nice looking. I'll show you the picture because they're bagged up. Just a nice looking pair of women's distressed jeans. I'm going to have to do something about this actually, because you can see in the picture on that side that my backdrop curves because it's like an infinity background. But when I'm taking pictures of jeans, it just makes them look odd because they're bent around the curve. So I'll probably have to do something about that. So yeah, that's it. Nice pair of grey distressed jeans. Paid £2 for those, and they're going out for £13. And last item of the day, if you remember, if you've stuck with me this long, you're braver than me. But if you've been watching since the beginning of the video, you'll remember me mentioning the tapes that I bought. I bought from Norcross. I want to say no, it wasn't. It was Fitzwilliam Car Boot. I bought 2 trays of old audio cassettes. They were country and western and 70s music in trays. I paid a £10 for the lot. There must have been 80 tapes. The trays, I've sold one of them for £15, which is paid for the whole lot, and the other is, sorry, the tapes are bundled. This is the largest bundle. All the country and western ones I've bundled in have lots of 8 tapes, and I'm selling those at £10 a time. But this one is all the 70s tapes. There's 15 of them, and they're in. Here. Here we are. 13, sorry, not 15. What's that say? 15. One. Okay, it's not what I thought it was. Bear with me. I do know what I'm doing, honest. Location 1C. Here we are. They'll be getting packaged more properly. 15 70s audio cassettes. These are all sort of like, who's in there? We've got, you see it. We've got David Essex in there. We've got Engelbert Humperdinck, Dionne Warwick, Fosters and Allen, Tom Jones, a couple of compilations, and who's that guy? Neil Diamond. Of course, they're a very young looking Neil Diamond. So 15 tapes, and the value I put on them, because I picked them up in that large bundle, is, where is it now? £3, and they're going out for £9. I don't know why I put a value of £3 on them. That's really overvalued it. Probably going to be more of £1, because, like I say, for the 2 trays and the 80 cassettes, I paid a tenner. So God only knows for a stocking system why I put a value of £3 on. But there you go, £10 anyway plus post. And that is the lot from the weekend. So, like I say, total wise, if you join the video late, there's a total of 25 orders, and the gross sales from the weekend is £552.60. So not a bad weekend. I've had better weekends. I've definitely had worse, particularly over lockdown. So before I wrap this up, let's just catch up on a couple of comments. So, 2 videos. Thank you very much, Lee. Superstar, much appreciated. I know I say it all the time on the videos, but I really appreciate the support you guys give to the channel. It's just amazing. It's nice to hear every now and again. I get comments from people and direct messages saying that I'm making a few quid out of just watching you and what you do. So, and that's like a massive compliment. It's embarrassing because as much as I seem like a confident, in-your-face guy, I'm quite shy. So it's a massive compliment as well. I do appreciate it. Okay, Adam, have you ever bought something that utterly smells and made you vomit? I could do with a giggle. Those bloody boots, mate. Honestly, I'm so glad I bagged them. Those cat boots that I just mentioned before, they stunk. I'm an ex-smoker, so there's no argument to say, oh yeah, the stereotypical ex-smoker thing, but I've been giving up since 2005, and I only smoked for about 10 years. Worst mistake ever. And before I started smoking, I was really anti-smoking, and now I'm really not so much anti-smoking because live the life the way you want to live your life kind of thing, but it does make me wretched. It's awful. So do you have much of a backlog, or do you list everything when you can buy it? I like that. I like your choice of words, because I'm not a fan of the word death pile, because it just suggests that it's just a load of crap, and why would you have picked that up in the first place? So backlog, It's on sort of like a rolling basis. I try not to cherry pick. I mean, if I'm on a day where I've been really busy and I'm struggling to get any listings done, I might pick up a couple of things that are really easy to list, that I can, like a couple of minutes to do, and all that kind of stuff. But I try not to cherry pick, and the reason for that is you just end up with all the stuff that you just either can't be asked with for whatever reason, or is you're just not looking forward to listing because it's difficult. Yada yada, and that's the pile that's up. So I suppose I've just described a death pile, haven't I? Even though I don't like the phrase. So no, I try to do it on a rolling basis and not cherry pick. I don't understand why you buy audio cassettes, why they aren't available on CD. Because people buy vintage vehicles, and also now I might be off the mark on this one, but it's just an assumption. One of the reasons, because I've been asked this exact same question about VHS players and VHS tapes, who would buy them when there's DVDs and streaming services and all that kind of stuff. It may well be the same case in this. I sell a lot of VHS players, or I can't say I've sold them directly to people with mental health problems, but I know through evidence that some people that buy VCRs, VHS players, and the like, buy them for family members who have mental health problems like autism and so on and so forth, because they're generally easier to operate and harder to break, and easier to handle, really. And like I said, I've evidenced that out, so I know that is the case. Maybe it's the case with audio cassettes as well, but I know that people who buy older vehicles, and we all know that buying classic vehicles is a thing, and they only have cassette players in. I think people who have that type of vehicle as well like to keep it as original as possible. Tapes are really tactile as well. So yeah, there's definitely a market for it. Not a massive market, granted. And that's why the tapes I have got, I've started selling as bundles rather than bits and one at a time. Although I do think I've got about 3 or 4 listings of single tapes. Get your whistling, brothers. The whistling was me. But I think he's going to be on the move in the next couple of months. I don't want to say I hope so, because he might hear me. He works from home too. That's why RSD releases on cassette tapes. You dig it. Yes, mate. Cassettes coming back, like Dave said. I'm autistic and I collect warmers for the colours and the textures. There you go, from the horse's mouth. Appreciate your input, Adam. Much appreciated, mate. You want to have a look at some of my listings, and if you like country music, I've got a lot of country music audio cassettes at the minute. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap that up now. We've done, how long have we done? 1 hour and 23 minutes. Man, that is a record for me. And we're up to 49 watches as well. So, listen, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass when I say this. I really appreciate your support. It's just phenomenal. So I'm going to wrap this up here now. I've put a video out yesterday from the Wednesday car boot I was at Fitzwilliam, and I'm going to have a little bit of a rest because it takes quite a bit of effort. I'll say effort. It takes quite a bit of time to edit these videos together. So the one I did at Banks on Saturday, which is going to be well worth watching. Well worth. First time I've ever been to the Banks car boot sale at Southport. So check that one out. Got some really, really, really good finds as well. That's probably going to be out on Thursday. So yeah, stick that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it. For some strange reason, there's like loads and loads of people watch the channel now, but there's only about a quarter of those people subscribed. So if you click the subscribe button on this video when it goes live, because you might be able to do it now. I'm actually watching through StreamYard, so I can't actually see my YouTube bit at the minute. Smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell, because even if it's just for that video, it's well worth a watch. Really appreciate your support, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.